Um, okay, I'm having trouble seeing you. Oh, hi there, I can see you. Thank you, Nikki, very much for that introduction, and I want to thank both Tony and Nikki for inviting me to be here as a guest speaker. And I want to thank all of you for coming. It's a wonderful honour to be here and a privilege to share. I'm very excited about it. I hope I don't forget my lines. The topic that I also want to just take a moment to honour or acknowledge traditional owners of this land in Brisbane. I usually like to do that before my talks. Turrbal people, I believe. Please, do we have any Indigenous people here? Anyway, I want to acknowledge the custodians, past, present and future of the Turrbal people. And also want to thank my guides for being here, any of the nature spirits and elementals that want to take part, Tibetan masters that might want to sing through the bowl. I've got a beautiful Tibetan bowl here, and any angelic and angelic beings and masters that want to be here. So thank you very much. The topic that I want to talk about is understanding light bodies in the context of evolutionary and involutionary forces. And I'll share with you the information that came through in my book, and that was channeled, and that book was channeled in 2009. But first of all, before we really get into it, what I'd like to do, if you'll bear with me, is a heart chakra activation. Okay, using the bowl. And I invite you all to please take part. So I use seed syllables. These seed syllables were channeled when I wrote the book. That's a bit better out of that really bright light. And the seed syllable for the heart chakra opening and activation is Hu. All right, that's one I use. Now, please remember that you're all sovereign souls, right? You all look reasonably enlightened to me. You've got your own connection to source. So if you find other sounds coming through, please feel free. All right, so you ready to sing and tone? Great. So just let's take a moment to center and focus in on the heart chakra. And maybe take 3 deep breaths in and out, and just deepen your breath with every breath. Go a little bit deeper. Right, and when you're ready, we're going to tone and activate and visualize that heart chakra filling with light and love and beginning to expand outwards in all directions. All right, sending that love and light out into the world. All right, ready?
You
true story. Oh. Ah. Where is it? Okay. So you can, that story, the next one. Stay. All right. So, you can close your eyes and listen to the story if you like. This story is a creation story. It was, can everyone at the back hear me?
Yes.
Right, okay. I'll try and speak into the microphone, but I'm not used to it. And this story came through when I channeled the book Diva Dreaming in 2009, all right? And it goes something like this. The golden ones came from the great central sun of our galaxy. They came from the galactic core. They came to this beautiful earth at the beginning of time, all right? They came before the core of the galaxy began to collapse into a black hole. They came in their bodies of light, the golden bodies of light, right? And they dwelt in the core of the earth for many, many millennia, and they dreamt creation into being, creation on the earth into being. And they called for help from their friends in the elemental kingdom to create the mountains. They called on the earth spirits. They called upon the water elementals to help carve the rivers and create the oceans. They called upon their friends in the air, amongst the air elementals, to form the atmosphere. And they called upon their friends amongst the fire elementals and the electromagnetic elementals, ether elementals, to bring creation into being. They also dreamed of these beautiful beings called trees and forests, and dreamt them into creation. And began to create the forests, the animal species, and the mineral and crystal species. And life went on in the Garden of Eden for many, many millennia. And then one day the golden ones, the creation spirits, the creation beings from the stars, began to yearn to know what it was like, to experience what it would be like to insert themselves into the game of life, right? To experience life from within the creation rather than from outside as creation spirits, right? So at that point in time, they called upon their friends in the stars to help them create a human body, human being, man in the image of God, right? And the cry went out throughout the galaxy, and they came from all over. They came from Pleiades, they came from Sirius, they came from Arcturus, Orion, to come and help donate their DNA, their beautiful energies and light bodies to the creation of human being in the image of God, to create a suitable physical body so that the golden ones could descend into a human form and experience this wonderful creation that they had created. Giving goosebumps. So thank you for the golden ones who are present, who are coming through as I tell this story. I don't know what that particular photo's got to do with it, other than I just love the golden light. All right, so this is the story of creation that came through in the book. And from this story, what I gleaned and understood was that the golden ones, the beings from the stars, from the central sun, who are the creation spirits, were us, right? We were or are the creation spirits, and we inserted ourselves into the game of life on earth. But it took many, many eons. We slowly descended. And I'll just see if I've got it. There we go. So what I'm trying to convey is this this picture of involution and evolution. So the involutionary forces are like a spiral, a downward descending spiral, from subtle to subtler, subtlest to subtler to subtle, to dense to denser to densest, right? So we were descending. That's probably another good word for this process of involution, right? And then the opposite process, once you get to that zenith point, right down the bottom of the spiral, when the cycle begins to turn, is the upward spiral, the evolutionary process, the ascension, if you like, into greater and greater subtlety. All right? So this is and of course there are cycles within cycles within cycles. So we've got grand cycles, 3.4 billion trillion year cycles of the in-breath and out-breath of Brahma in the Vedas as the god of all creation. And then we've got smaller cycles. We've got 26,000 year cycles on the earth. I don't know if you've heard of the precession of the equinoxes, which is the wobble. The Earth's axis is on a tilt, so the time that it takes for that axis to go around and come back in a full circle is roughly 26,000 years, during which time the Earth, the axis travels through all the signs of the zodiac. Right? So here we are in this physical form. Let's see if I can go back a bit. Experiencing life in a physical body and becoming, so we might have began with golden light bodies. So when I'm talking about light bodies, we might have had a diamond light body, we may have had a rainbow light body. All right. When we first came here, we didn't have a causal body, a mental body. We didn't have an emotional body. We didn't have a physical body, obviously. So this process of descending, involution, coming into denser and denser forms, so that we could experience and eventually becoming into a dualistic world. So I love the story of in the Bible of the Garden of Eden, which speaks about human beings partaking of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Right? So basically, partaking of free will, in other words, and experiencing duality. Right? So experiencing joy, sorrow, and this is the dualistic male, the choices, and we had choices between male, female, wealth and poverty, sickness and health, power and disempowerment, all of these many choices that we could now make, being given this gift of free will, right? Given the gift from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So I prefer not to use the word good and evil. From my experience, say good and evil's on a spectrum, with a good, absolute good at one end and absolute evil at another. If those exist, there's multiple shades of grey in between, right? So, so here we are, experiencing this game of duality in a physical body as the creator gods, all right? And we've come down through the cycles of time, all right, to this zenith point. Oh, okay, so there's a little spiral, all right? Experiencing life in the physical body in a dualistic universe. And I believe that we're at this point in time, and many people do, where the spiral that's been descending begins to go upwards again. So excuse me if I'm not, I'm jumping back and forth, but I'm not really used to doing slideshows. All right, so we're at this zenith point, and the tide is turning. We've come down through the ages. The stars are in alignment, all right? I believe that our sun of our solar system is in alignment with the core of the galaxy, which in turn is in alignment with the center of our universe. Some people call it a great central sun. Scientists haven't actually discovered a great central sun yet, but doesn't mean to say that they will. But if you like, you can imagine a central point, all right, from which the whole of creation emanates out through the universe. So here we are at this turning point, where the tide turns, and instead of descending, we begin to ascend. All right, and it has, if you look around you, you know, it looks like we've reached the absolute 0 point that we could go as far as descension goes, right? We literally are experiencing extremes of duality. We have on our planet at the moment extremes of power and control, extremes of disempowerment, extremes of extreme poverty, extremely obscene wealth, you know, amongst a handful of people, extremes of illness, extremes of haves and have-nots. So we've really gone as far as we can go in terms of that experience of duality on this earth, and we're beginning, like I said, to come back up, and our consciousness is beginning to expand, and many people are having spontaneous light body activations, you know, because of the influx of energy coming in from this central sun, from the photon belt, from the great central sun, all in alignment. You know, this wonderful, wonderful influx of high frequency energy. And so we're living in very exciting times, but we're also seeing, I believe, the collapse of our current civilization. It may not be happening as quickly as I would like, you know, or some people would like, but it is happening, all right? And we're going to begin expanding. And so what does this expansion look like? And I'll see if I can find all right, so here's a little chart, pictorial representation of the light body. So you've got physical body, blue light body, which is your electromagnetic field, which is probably much bigger than this. This is the best pictorial representation I could find. Violet light body, which is your emotional body. White light body, which is your mental body, causal body. Gold light body, which is your solar body. Right? And then diamond light body, and then rainbow light body. All right? And so each body is more and more subtle, more and more refined. And the way that I have been shown to activate these light bodies, if they're not already activated, is with the seed syllables, with the sounds that are associated with each of the chakras. Okay? And so what we do, what I was shown, was if, for example, you want to activate the diamond light body, this chakra here, which is the gateway to the galactic core, needs to be fully active, and this chakra here at the core of the earth needs to be fully active, right? And you breathe, you use breath, you use sound, you breathe in and connecting the chakras up. Okay, and there's lots of there are techniques in the Vedas, in the Tibetan tantric system, in the Taoist system with these breathing exercises. All right, so the Tibetan masters and Taoist masters knew how to activate the gold dragon body. I think they called it the diamond light body, the rainbow light body. All right, but the only thing is, in the past, they usually had to leave their body as these light bodies were being fully activated. But we don't have to do that anymore, all right? Because we're entering a new era, and we've got, we're evolving as a species, I believe. And we're evolving on all levels and all dimensions. So physically, we're evolving. We can theoretically have access to new strands of DNA, right? Our light bodies are evolving and expanding. So there's a pictorial representation. If you wanted to have a look at a chart, if you're kind of more left brain, there's a little chart there. So we're looking at light bodies in terms of elemental energy, all right? Okay, so going from subtle to less subtle or dense, we might start with plasma waves, or plasma light, golden plasma light. So we know that plasma behaves like waves and also as particles. And I think there's probably more subtle energy than that, but let's just start with plasma waves, plasma, all right? Okay, because scientists are discovering more and more finer and finer particles all the time, right? But in terms of us human beings, I think that's enough for now. And then less subtle would be fire and light. So normal, ordinary light from the sun, from the stars. Okay. Less subtle would be air, the element of air, all right? And less subtle would be water. So we're going denser and denser, all right? Earth, I've got crystal, so crystals there, and then silver plasma light, which is your electromagnetic energy, which is actually quite, it's more subtle than earth, water and air. But anyway, I've just put it there for the sake of the chart. So, and there's the corresponding light bodies, including the physical body and the sounds and the chakras, all right? So that's just a chart, it's a representation. If you would like a copy of that, give me your email afterwards. I can email it to you, but I don't have any on me at the moment. So let's talk maybe more specifically about the different light bodies and how to activate them, and then I'm hoping if we get time that we might actually do some activation, all right, with sound and chakras, if you're willing.
Sounds great.
All right, okay. So let's go from dense to more subtle and start with the physical body and the etheric body. So our physical bodies, oh look, there's a little video there, can be purified and activated to the point where what we want is for the physical body to be able to hold the high frequency energy of the more subtle light bodies, right? So in order to do that, we need to purify the physical body. And there's many ways of doing that. There's diet, exercise, yoga is a really good way, deep, breathing exercise, fasting, spending time in nature. Really, that's simple. Is a way of healing and purifying the physical body so that the cells of our body can hold more light, all right, and can hold higher frequency energy. I want to just share with you a little story, sort of to bring this home. In 2008, I developed breast cancer, right? And I wasn't freaked out about it. Wasn't particularly worried, but I thought, what will I do? And at that stage, I had been communicating with nature spirits. All right, so I developed this telepathic communication in about 1999. This telepathic clairaudience started coming through for me, and I was communicating with all beings. That included nature spirits, elemental beings, the ascended masters, angels, whoever wanted to come through. Sometimes the ancestral spirits, indigenous spirits would come through, right? And mostly I communicated through song and sound. So I went to the nature spirits. There was a beautiful clump of camphor laurels in a park across the road from where I lived. I hope there's no greenies here in the audience tonight. Any greenies? Because I know the camphor laurels are like, no! Anyway, these beautiful camphor laurel trees. What they did, I asked them for healing, is they read my DNA. At least that's my understanding of what happened, okay? And they can read our DNA through our bodily fluids, through sweat, tears, blood, saliva, right? So it was a very hot day, I must have been sweating, I'm not sure. Anyway, they actually read my DNA. It was absolutely wonderful, and they gave me incredibly detailed information about what to eat, what not to eat, how to eat the food, what was missing in my cellular makeup. Very, very clear, very specific information. I was missing magnesium, I was missing potassium, selenium. They told me which foods to eat that had, they told me to take some supplements, and they told me foods to eat. they basically said go on a raw vegan diet for 6 months. Right, so I was very keen to heal the cancer, so I went on a raw vegan diet. It was fantastic. Best, I was 52 at that stage. Best I've ever felt in my whole life. I had so much energy. I was literally bouncing off the walls. Like, what do I do with myself? It was wonderful. I'd really love to get back to being raw vegan without having to get cancer, of course. So it really was wonderful. And so, of course, that opened up whole vistas for me. I began to heal. I began to channel sounds, sacred sounds, and then I channeled the book, the Diva Dreaming book. And that was a truly, truly wonderful experience. So when we're talking about light bodies and the expansion of light bodies, the physical body is the base, right? That needs to be clean, it needs to be clear, and we can purify it and we can make it more and more subtle in order to hold the energies for the other light bodies. So let's, why isn't it? Just sorry, looking for the next slide. Just keeps
Try the down arrow.
Oh, mouse? No.
Arrows.
Yeah, I'm looking for the arrows.
Try the down arrow.
Oh yes. Or the cross.
Yeah.
Yay!
That's it.
Thank you. Oh, we've already done that. That's an extra slide. So yeah, that's me with my embracing this lovely stone person down at a favourite river of mine where I used to go and do ceremonies and work with nature spirits. I take people for healing to sacred places and work with nature spirits for specific healing outcomes, especially after that experience with cancer. So I work with stones and crystals as well as the trees and the beings from the plant kingdom. All right, and they're wonderful for cellular physical healing. All right, so now let's move on to the astral body. So this is our emotional body, which probably sits out about here, around us. And I'm sure all of you have kind of worked with these kind of energies before, but specifically you can purify and activate your emotional body with water, right? Because the emotions are strongly connected with water, the element of water. And particularly the energy of unconditional love, all right? And so once this heart chakra, we work through the heart chakra, then the thymus chakra, which is your higher heart chakra. Once these chakras are fully activated and opened, and the astral light body, or emotional light body, for want of a better word, is healed, it's healed through the transmutation of all fear into grief, sorrow, etc., into unconditional love. All right, so that's an ongoing process for many of us, but it's something that we can do for ourselves. Very simple: forgiveness, love, acceptance of everything that arises in terms of emotional energy. That's anything that's not unconditional love: fear, anger, grief, guilt, so on and so forth. So until we get to that point where we've got this heart chakra fully open and activated, coming from unconditional love, that state of unconditional love all the time. Okay, very, very simple. Something I wanted to say slipped my mind. And then you've got your causal light body, which is the mental light body, purified through breath. So many people now are learning all sorts of breathing exercises. Pure intentions and thoughts, truth. Being able to speak the truth as much as you can. Especially speaking your truth, not holding back, speaking what's really on your mind. But at the same time being aware of how that truth may impact on the other person. So there's times when we won't speak the truth because it might have too much of an impact on the person that you're speaking to. They may not be ready to hear the truth, or you know, for example, I used to do readings, tarot readings a long time ago. So if I could see that someone was going to die, or a loved one of theirs was going to die, I definitely would not impart that information. You know, because it just wouldn't be appropriate. So then it's learning how to cause the least amount of harm through your voice and your intentions. All right, part of the healing of the causal light body is healing thought forms and entities. And my friend Peter over here does a lot of that kind of work. And I want to just thank you, Peter, for clearing my causal light body just before we started. All right, so that's just briefly it. Golden light body, my daughter did this little video. It's beautiful, I love it. Purified through fire and light, through spending time in the sun. Very, very simple, okay? Or sitting around a fire. Also purified, lost my chart, by activating the crown chakra and the base chakra, all right? And breathing in between the crown and base chakra. And if you've ever done yoga or Kundalini yoga, you will know what I'm talking about, all right? So you've got when you start to activate the chakras, and you've got the Sushumna, which is the central canal, and you've got the Ida and Pingala rising up, crossing over in between the chakras up to the third eye. And this is how the golden light body becomes fully active. Right. And like I said, in many people this is happening spontaneously because of all the influx of energies coming into the planet, or otherwise you can do it consciously, you know, and just work on yourself and do the yoga practices of the Kundalini yoga. So anyone here ever had a Kundalini awakening experience? Mm-hmm. Yeah, woo. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Right. Yeah, so I had an amazing Kundalini awakening experience. I was with an Aboriginal elder. These guys know what they're doing, right? So it was a spontaneous, and I was travelling with him in a car from Brisbane down to Sydney. Took 2 or 3 days, and over that 2 or 3 days, this fire started to rise from the base of my spine. And it started to rise and rise, and I was burning. Right, and then it was just travelling up and down my Sushumna canal, up and down. It was incredible. I've never experienced anything like it. And all those years that I did of yoga, 7 years on this Patanjali's yoga system, I never had a Kundalini experience once. And then all it took was for me to come in contact with this Aboriginal elder, and boom, you know, just like that. So I've never experienced anything. I didn't even know what it was because I'd never experienced anything like it. And afterwards I kind of, I'm a bit slower, put 2 and 2 together, and went, oh, I couldn't have me awakening. All right, so, and then diamond light body, all right, which is the next subtle body up from the gold light body. And just, has anyone here seen the diamond light body? Because I'm only speaking from my experience, all right? Yes, there's lots of theories about it, and I once had a friend who did diamond light body healing. She was wonderful, wonderful Chiron healer. But when I see, and in my inner vision, the diamond light body, it looks a bit like this. So it's actually got facets, and these facets contain all the codes and the blueprint, right, for the divine being within a human body. So it's a full expression of who we can be as human beings. That's all the coded information for healing the DNA, repairing damaged DNA, right? For healing ourselves instantly, instant healing, for telepathic communication, clairaudience, clairvoyance, etc. Being able to communicate with all beings that we share this earth with and beyond, to the stars. Contains the information for all of our creativity, being able to sing, dance, paint, you know, create, invent wonderful new inventions. Everything that it takes to be fully human as we possibly can be, is in the diamond light body, all right? So, and then you've got your rainbow light body, which I won't speak much about it. I have only just recently begun to experience that for myself, so I don't have much to say. Other than I've just only begun to see the rainbow light body, yeah. And all right, so good, we're on time. All right, so I might just ask if there are any questions at this stage. Very briefly, I could take one or two questions if you want, but what I'd really like to do is share with you, with the bowls, some sound activations and see if we can get these light bodies being activated. All right? And the activation process is like a double helix or double vortex, right? And I'm constantly kind of vibrating all the time. Does anyone have that experience? Oh, great. So this is fantastic. Good. So that means you're ascending. All right. So this from what I feel and experience is this vortex of energy spiraling down, usually probably anti-clockwise, and spiraling up. No, spiraling up anti-clockwise and down, both simultaneously. All right, through the chakras, through the bodies, bringing the light bodies into activation. All right, so the process for doing this is just to activate these higher and lower chakras. So the higher we go, the more deeper we have to go, right? More grounded, as above, so below. And breathing in from, say we wanted to activate the diamond light body, we'd be breathing from the galactic core chakra, the chakra at the galactic core, right down to the chakra at the core of the earth. All right, all in one breath, up and down through the central column, feeling that spiraling energy, visualizing. You can use your intention, you can use your visualization, you can use sound, you can use the breath. All right. So, do you want to give it a go?
Yeah.
Okay, so Peter, we're going to ask Peter to use the drums so we can get really deeply grounded first. All right? Let's see. So what I want you to do is just take your focus, your awareness, right down to the core of the earth. And there's an earth star chakra as well. If we go back to this, so down here, core of the earth, and the earth star chakra is about 1/2 meter below the feet when standing on the ground. So we might see if we can activate both of those at the same time. If you want to just do a little visualization exercise to get to the core, you might imagine that you've got a taproot extending down from the base of your spine, right? Going right down through the earth's crust, going right down through the mantle, and right into the core of the earth, okay? Or you could see yourself dropping an anchor down from the base of the spine, right? So use your visualization, use your intention, and you can tone the sounds. So there we've got Uma and Shamu for the earth star and base chakras, these ones down here, these two. And once again, sometimes other sounds come through, so it just really depends. awareness up to the chakra, the galactic core, or the Earth Star chakra, which is about 1/2 meter above your crown. Chakra, the galactic core, another 1/2 meter above that, and the chakra at the core of the universe. So these are our gateways to the sun, the central sun, and the great central sun. Our own personal portable portal system. And so beginning to breathe, breathing in, as you breathe in from the galactic gateway, visualizing beautiful golden plasma light spiraling through the central column, down through the crown, through your bodies of light, out through your feet and down to the core of the earth, then breathing out on the up breath, breathing in the silver plasma light, from the core of the earth, up through your feet, up through the base of the spine, right up through the chakras, out through the crown, and right up to the galactic core. So this is the activation for the diamond light body. Let's try that again. So one breath in and one breath out, up and down. All right? So breathe in. Let's try it the other way. Breathing in, drawing up the silver plasma light up through your central column, out through the crown, up to the stars. Breathing out, drawing down the golden plasma light, down through the crown, through the body, and into the core of the earth. Now just try that at your own pace, all right? I'll do it one more time. So breathing in, drawing the silver life force energy up through the earth, through your feet, up through the central column, spinal column, out through the crown, up to the galactic core. Breathing out, drawing down the golden life force energy, plasma energy, right down to the core of the earth, all in one breath. Okay, a bit tricky. So you try that at your own pace, all right? Try that at your own pace, and I'll keep toning.
Sham
so much, everyone, for sharing in that Diamond Light Body activation. Thank you for bringing all of your wonderful energies with you today, your guides and your beautiful highest selves and light bodies. It's been a great honour. Thank you very much.